I see it. There's a functional masjid where I live. There's like 2 or 3. I live in mostly Dead Sea Muslims. So they have functional communities. What I see what they're doing now, they take the brothers and sisters who got their masters, Ph.D. and education, economics, finances, and they get them together on the board with the imams who got Islamic degrees, and they put them together and they run the community.
That's that integration that I'm talking about.
You know, I have a masjid where I live. It's called Jamaica Muslim Center. It's probably the biggest Bangladeshi masjid in North America. I go to the board, the imam. They got 3 imams, all graduate from Islamic universities. They have one brother recently graduated from Medina. And I look at the other people on the board. They're people who got the PhD or master degree in education and finances, and they get them together and they run the Muslim community.
You know, this when we look at the Salafi community here in the West, and I wrote a short piece on this that I sent to you a while back about the correlation between the Salafi community and the African American community.
I read it.
And many of the pathologies that you find in the African American community, you most certainly find in the Salafi community, because it can be argued that the large majority of the indigenous population of those who claim Salafiyah are from the Black community.
Correct.
Right? We have seen seemingly for years have had this aversion to education. We've seemingly have had this, maybe it's ostensible, I don't know, but there seems to be this aversion to academia, to education. And there's every reason in the world why we shouldn't be educated. When, like you just said, you go to the other communities, the more affluent communities, they lack in that Islam. They lack in that studiousness, that zeal sometimes for Quran and Sunnah, but they excel in having stable communities because they understand that they have to marry that academic, those with those credentials who have expertise, like you said, in finance, in you know, all in engineering, all these different things. Those people should be the ones who are in charge of the finances. They are the ones who should be in charge. You know, everyone has their their part to play. What we have had in the Salafi community is unqualified individuals who should not have been running communities. Now, in some instances, they were the best choice at that time.
Right, by default.
By default. But we're in an era now where you have brothers who are coming back from Islamic universities who are qualified. They've been sitting under the tutelage of ulama, and they've been verified, and they've graduated, and they've showed the ability to complete programs, to traverse that academic. I mean, you really don't, it's hard to explain. Academia, once you get up higher, it's a rough road. It's a rough road mentally. It's a rough road. You know, you have to give up so much sleep, time with your family. You miss meals. I don't know how many times I've woken up, slumped over my computer, sleep. When I wake up, like, oh, I got to go to work. You know, that effort, that time, that everything that goes into being successful in academia is not really appreciated amongst African Americans, and especially amongst the Salafi community. And I'm speaking specifically with the Salafi community. It's not appreciated. You know,
but I want to say something so people don't think that we are anti-Salafi. We definitely not anti-Salafi.
I am.
Just, you know, I'm Salafi. I claim Salafi. So, because, you know, some people hear that and they run, but we want to talk about the misbehavior in the African American Salafi community. That's a big problem, all right? And what you describe as some of the benign neglect, I'd label it in the Salafi community, African American Salafi community. Because, you know, brother, I lived in Canada for about 2 years, many years ago, early 2000s. And there's Salafi communities in Canada. They don't have this issue that we have in America, you know, but they're mostly Asian Muslims, Arab, and they don't have this issue. But in the Black inner city African American community here, especially the Salafi community, and I point fingers at them because they really had the peoples, they had the numbers, they had the power to make all these positive changes, and they didn't do it. But now, alhamdulillah, we do have a lot of brothers who are coming back, who are qualified, getting with peoples in their community. But I think it's not enough. It's not enough.
I mean, you have to look at the amount of time that it took to get us to the point that we are right now. It's going to take double that to dig us out of the hole that that we're in. We have to embrace those brothers who are qualified, who took that time, that effort, that expressing that gravitas toward education and toward learning, and it should be embraced. It shouldn't be something that is shunned and looked at. I had a conversation with a brother, and he's a well-known brother. I'm not gonna say his name, but I remember I called him on the phone one day just to check on him, and he sounded kind of down. He was kind of preoccupied. And I said, "Ak, are you cool?" He said, "Yeah, man, I'm just kind of going through it." Like, I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm reading a book on IT right now." I said, "What do you read the book on IT for?" He said, "Well, I have a degree in that." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, why are you reading it?" He said, "Because I'm going to have to go find a job." I said, "You have to find a job?" I was like, "You have to find a job? What's going on?" And he said, "Well, I'm going to keep it 100. He said, "The non-African American communities don't want me as the imam.
That's true.
And the Salafi community can't afford me as the imam. I have a family. They have to pay me a wage that's going to take care of me and my family and my expenses, and they can't do it. So I have to go find a job now."
That's true, brother.
And then he told me another brother from a foreign country who graduated from his program, when he got back to his community, he was elevated and he was given the position as an Islamic judge on the council. Immediately, he was given that. He was elevated and given that because he's qualified for that. We send our people over to wherever. When they come back, oh, that's just that cat that went and studied. He ain't nobody.
Aki, the truth is, I know there's some brothers who graduated, African-American brothers, who graduated from Saudi universities. I don't want to say their names. And I personally know that they are working in the masjids that are not black, because the black communities can't pay them salaries. That's real talk. I worked 4 years in the masjid, and it wasn't black. I tell you that right now. I had a decent salary for part-time. I went to work 2 days out the week. They gave me a decent salary. It wasn't no black community. It wasn't no black. Somebody offered me last week another position in the same area in the masjid, just to work there for 5 days, $4,000. I told them no, right? And I'm like, but it's not a black African-American community. So unfortunately, a lot of brothers do come back. And I know some brothers graduate from Medina. They have to drive truck to take care of their family. Yeah. They have to go 9 to 5, white and black. I know white and black brothers who graduated, and they working in other places. I met a brother, Muhaddith, claimed to be a Muhaddith. He really graduated from the Kuliya Hadith, a Haitian brother, many years ago. This guy selling women clothes in the store. He can't find a job in the masjid. Women clothes in the store. You get me? I'm like, why you don't go work in the masjid? Like, I gotta take care. He said, I gotta take care of his mother. The masjid can't give him no salary. And this is the reality. But I think we have to create the environment. See, the Desi community I described before, the layman people understand the importance of having qualified people, so they throw their money into the community. They throw it. The Desi Muslim community, immigrant Muslim community, the laymen understand, the Shaykh, you got to take care of them because he's going to take care of them.
Yep, exactly. But see, we don't, I can't think of one. And I'm not saying that there aren't any. I'm saying I cannot personally think of one African American graduate from the university that has not been under attack for some reason. It don't matter what it is. There's always a reason why we can't take from them. there's always they always said something as if other people don't make mistakes with their tongue and say things maybe incorrectly or overstep a little bit or whatever. But we are, it seems to be, guided away from our own academics. We're guided away from those who more than likely would have our best interest at heart, as well as understanding and knowing the layers and the nuances and the minute details of our reality from a history perspective all the way up to modern times. So those people that we really need to embrace to move ahead and be successful as a people, those are the ones who are attacked the most. And I don't know, you know, that epiphany hit me a few years back. It's like, wait a minute. It seems like everybody that looks like me, I can't take from for whatever reason. I'm talking.
I personally think it's agents. I just think it's agents in the community that were designed just to keep black people from behind, especially the Muslim community. I think there's a little bit. Maybe there's one agent and he knows how to control the crowd. You know, he know how to control the peoples. You know what to say to them.
You know, a little bit of COINTELPRO. You know,
that's what I think it is. A little COINTELPRO.
I didn't want to say it, but you know, that could be. You know,
I think it is, brother. I think it is, because some of the people they are actually following, don't have qualifications. That I ask ourselves how they get in these positions and stay there for a long time. Especially the ones who people don't know their background. I'm not going to say any names, but people who just come from other countries in the West, people don't really know them.
Show up at the door.
And then they come up to the door, and all of a sudden, all of us black people in the community are following this person. And he, you know, I'll be blunt. Listen, I'll tell you a situation, blunt. About 5 years ago, I have two of my close companions, two very close companions. I'm going to send them this video. Very close companion. One of them, he's into the IT, and the other one, he's a young guy. He went to study in Saudi, right? He lives in Saudi right now. They were fighting over Muhammad Muneer. That's going to be up front. Here in Queens, New York. One of the brothers wanted to take from Muhammad Muneer. The other brother didn't want to because his teacher, I'm not going to say his name, who has no qualifications, he came out the blue. We seen him years ago. He didn't even have a beard, right? Not black American. Said, don't take from Muhammad Muneer. So I sat my friends together down. They was arguing, not talking to each other for weeks. I sat them both down. I said, Muhammad Muneer, we personally know who he is. I remember Muhammad Muneer when he was in Philly, in Germantown Masjid, teaching kids Quran before he went to Medina.
Right. I
remember the brothers gave him the name Mufti from Philly, right? I said, Muhammad Muneer is somebody that we actually know. I said, this other brother, I'm not going to say his name because they don't get mad with me. He's not black, right? Give you an idea who he is. He came and said, don't take from Muhammad Muneer, right? And I said, that brother, I mentioned his name. I said, what is his Islamic qualification? My friend said, he don't know. He doesn't have any. He has a degree in secular knowledge. I said, when did he come on the scene? I said 2 years ago. What was he doing before? He don't know. I said, Muhammad Muneer, we know where this guy come from and where he been. I said, that guy could be an agent you talking about. I said, this brother right here could be an agent. He came out of nowhere. We don't know who he is. He doesn't have any Islamic background, learning religion, have a secular degree. And we asked him what sheikh he studied with. He said, oh, a couple of months, this sheikh from there. I said, nah, man, I ain't hearing that. I said, you're going to fight now over somebody who came to the community that we don't know, over somebody, Muhammad Muneer, we know, and we know his history, and we know where he been from. And my friend who was against him, he said, yeah, you know what? You're right, man. That don't make sense. I said, come on, Ak, we got to look at it. I said, yo, in the streets, my friend got a college degree. I said, in the streets and whatever, we use our best senses to protect ourselves. We're not going to use our sense now when we come to the D. Muhammad Muneer is somebody we know. Together now, the brothers, they talk. We're friends and all that stuff. But that incident is happening in a lot of the Muslim community. people who are separating us from our Mashaykh, and I'm gonna call them Mashaykh, the people separating us, we don't know really where they come from, and they don't have any qualifications.
Yeah.
And then for some of the brothers who are involved in some of this stuff, when we put down who got qualifications, this is where things get iffy. The ones who making the most noise have the less to no zero qualifications.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's me now. I keep quiet. I keep quiet, keep on learning. I say, yo, man, I need to get some qualifications, some dunya stuff now. I got kids. I be seeing how things rolling. And for many years, many old school brothers keep on telling me, Muhammad, you smart. Abul, you smart. Got a lot of Islamic stuff. You smart. Now get something in academics to bring it together so you can really help people in the community, right? But that type of mindset is really what's destroying us in our community on every level.
You know, I was talking to my father the other day, and I was telling him that, you know, the world we live in right now is a credential-based society. Everything is about credentials. You know, you can't go to Saudi, you can't go to Kuwait or Qatar or Dubai and talk about working over there without a degree, without some type of credential.
And they want higher degrees too.
Yeah, you can't get, bro. You can't even get in over there talking about getting a work visa, and you coming in talking about, well, you know, I can read the Quran. I mean, that's cool. That's awesome. But that's not a credential that we're looking for. You know, I'm Salafi. Okay, that's cool, but you know, we're not going to give you a work degree based on that. So we have to begin to, in order to be competitive, we need to begin to earn credentials, be qualified. Now, I don't relegate credentials to academia, to college. If you are a plumber, we need plumbers in our community.
Sure do.
Become a master plumber. If you're going to be a carpenter, we need carpenter. Everybody can't be a doctor. Everybody can't be an academic. Everybody can't be an engineer. We need people, you know, who has understanding of carpentry. Become a master carpenter. Become a master electrician if you're going to be an electrician. Whatever your trade is, become the highest degree or certification in that you can be. We need that. We need that. So education is not just college.
We definitely, you know, in the Jewish community, you know, I'm from New York, so New York Jew everywhere. But you know, some Jewish people, you know, they white, but you know, Jews. When I deal with some Jews, they white outside, but some of them like white, like black folks. Some of them, they're very blunt. They tell you the truth. The Jew, they have it so in their community, wherever you do, you have to be the best in it. And they don't take any type of jobs. The Jew in New York, they don't take any job. They take certain type of jobs, certain type of positions, and they know that helps them as a whole community. I remember once some Jewish lady came to my house. A Jewish lady was one of my children were born, and it was a newborn baby, and the hospital sent somebody over to check the baby. It was a Jewish lady, right? And she looked at me. She said, "You're Muslim?" I said, "Yes." My mom, she seen my mom. My mom had some Bible or something, right? She said, "You Muslim, right?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." She's like, "Okay." And the Jewish lady like, "Okay, do this with your kids. Make sure the baby does this. Make sure the baby does this." The Jewish lady understand like certain cultural things, understand the importance of things. And I said to myself, I don't see a lot of sisters work in that type of field, what she's doing. You know? The Jew makes sure that they take certain type of jobs. I don't see no Jewish home health aid. That's what I'm trying to get to the point. I don't see a Jewish low-level jobs. The Muslim, we need to come to a level, especially in the black community, because we are low. We're not the majority of the Muslims, right, in America. We need to come to this type of understanding that we should take certain positions, whatever positions we do take, that we be what? At a higher standard, which looks better and work better for us. But I want to end on this note because we've been going for a good time. We got to do a second interview. a second topic, inshallah, because it's also the time. But I want you. How can people get in contact with you and follow you on social media?
Did you post the link to my YouTube off the top of my head? I don't know my own YouTube off the top of my head.
I got a special link for you. There's a special link for subscribe. I did it for your page on YouTube. So everything's in the description of the video.
Okay. Appreciate that.
YouTube, where else?
Facebook. I'm here on Facebook. I keep my phone with me. So you can
I will add your Facebook link to this also into the description. I will do that at the end.